I mean, he just said, "I wish I was never born." And in the way he does.
Go back and watch that whole video if you haven't already. I want to say first, I only just learned who World of T-Shirts is like literally 2 days ago. I do not follow celebrities, but I am a media and communication PhD that has studied the hyper idealization of celebrities and the way that in a colonial capitalist culture that is like peak individualism. And how, of course, many people have pointed out, including Chapel Roan, that they are incredibly dehumanized, as are all of us in this late stage society. Anyway, I'm not making this post to talk about any of that, really. The point of my post is I need people to know that the autistic community, because of social discrimination and systematic discrimination, already have a significantly higher rate of substance abuse, sexual violence, and suicidality. This is very well documented. I say this not just as an academic, but also as someone that lived a lifetime of that experience. I need everyone to know when you're out here mocking acoustic people as if that's super fucking funny. Our lifetimes have been tormenting at base level because of your treatment, as well as our very real disability that ruins our fucking life a lot of the time. It's got beautiful things about it, but many of us, it ruins our fucking life. That's without the additional phenomena of celebrity. So maybe before you make fun of someone in my fucking community, think twice. Maybe choose to not be an absolute fucking asshole. Have you considered that? Have you considered not hating someone for how their brain fucking works? I know that people that aren't autistic can't imagine it, but literally, what the fuck? Like, after the lifetime I've lived, I'm sorry, I don't have any sympathy for the excuse that someone might make by making fun of me and people in my community. This creator is just one very large version of that. If you actually care about that person's well-being, you need to understand the entire context that makes them an example of that on a public stage. Treat autistic people better. Advocate for resources so that we have what we need to fucking live and we aren't excluded out of society. Do what you can so that we have the ability to cope with our very difficult existence. This society does everything it possibly can to bar us from what we need and make us feel terrible about our default state. And that's why so many of us are driven to substance abuse. It treats us like objects. And within an already sexually violent society, it's really hard for us to know who has positive and negative intentions a lot of the time. It's not a coincidence that 9 out of 10 assigned female at birth autists experience sexual violence, on top of the substance abuse, on top of the likelihood of suicidality. It's connected to the social discrimination, the being made to feel like a total piece of shit waste of space who's entitled to nothing from birth. It's bad enough for folks who are diagnosed, let alone those of us that are not and cannot get diagnosed because it is like sometimes $5,000. It starts by just being a good fucking person to your fellow human. So next time you want to make a fucking joke about our lives of torment, maybe ask yourself instead, how can I be a better fucking person?